The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It's Wednesday. Anya's here, and you just heard her singing. Anya, is it weird to hear your own voice? Are you someone that can listen to yourself sing and not be nauseated?
It depends on which song. I was just
can't
listening
listen
to
you
them
without being nauseated. Oh, that old switcheroony.
You got me.
I got you good.
I was listening to the horns.
What do you feel?
I was just like, oh, that was really cool production those guys did. I work with these guys, the Crash Brothers, on that, and I was just listening to the fake horns, I believe, or the tuba synth sound. I was like, I love that.
Wait, there's a synth sound in it?
It's like boom, boom, boom. It's kind of the bass, I guess. I don't even know what they did, but I love the bass line in that.
You got a good musical ear. We transformed that song. I don't know how it happened, but whenever we go on our girls' trips, we always sing, Billy is a sex slave, ooh. And Billy is Sarah Lena's dog. And we were getting ready to record in the Hamptons. Noah was setting up the whole recording thing. And then right before we got started, we were kind of like, oh, we're going to sing the song live. If you saw that episode, you saw us all trying to sing it live. And then Taylor, who hobo hopping, train hopping, Taylor hobo hopping. She hops hobos too.
Every time I see a freight train, I think of her.
I do too. I took a picture of one the other day and I go, fond memories, eh? I just saw your old apartment. And so she, for some reason, looked at Billy, Sarah Lena's dog, and Billy had on a leather collar. And I guess that was the original origin of it, of Billy looked like a sex slave with that collar. And so she was like, Billy is a sex slave. And so we now call Billy, Sarah Lena's dog, sex slave. So Sarah Lena will leave messages on our girls chat and just be like, you guys, I'm here sitting with Leon, her son, and she's like, and sex slave is here. And she's just it's just the dog's name now. It's
and she's 120.
Yeah, the dog is so old, and
scruffy dog.
She's such a cutie.
So cute.
But hadn't we had sex slaves and BDSM on our minds because we were watching murder cult documentaries? Why were we thinking about sex slaves?
I don't know, but
NXIVM or something.
Yeah, we were watching Teal Swan, stuff like that. I mean, that's what the girls' trip in New York, this past one that we did. The agenda was we get together. All we had planned in New York City for Christmas time was watch the Casey Anthony documentary, and we watched a little bit of the Harry and Meghan one too. Which don't even get me started. I did. So I know. I won't go into it. I'm 50%, 49% through at this point.
Wow.
I'm not quitting. I'm obsessed. I read for 3 hours the first night, 2 nights ago. And then last night I read for another 2.5 hours or something like that. It's unreal, you guys. Whatever you think you know about Harry, you don't. Whatever you think you surmise about how hard he worked in the military or how he processed his mom's death, this guy has had a hard life. It's not easy being royal, and he is one of the most real, compassionate, cool people. I think I am. My new goal, bucket list, is to become friends with Harry and Meghan and have personal hangouts with them because they are the real deal. They are real people, and you guys know I don't put up with fake Hollywood. There's a lot of, I don't want to really be friends with Jennifer Aniston or Taylor Swift. They're too locked into the Hollywood thing. We can't have real, I feel like we could maybe get there, but it would just be too, there's a lot of celebrities I idolize and I wouldn't want to be friends with because I think it would be exhausting because they would think they're too famous and it would just be not as fun as you would think. I don't mean to, I think Jennifer Aniston actually is probably pretty cool, but she's got to be a little out to it's, if you're that famous, I've been around famous people, even the coolest ones ever, and they still, suck up all the air in the room. And
Harry and Meghan are more your speed.
They're just, he would go to Africa every chance he got just to hang out on safari and just be around people around a campfire. He's a simple
I love
man.
how you're that is my dream first date. Spending 5 days in a teepee in Botswana.
Oh my gosh, because if you saw Harry and Meghan, that's what happened. They met at one date and then they started talking on the phone and then she had time off and he was like, do you want to come to Botswana? And she's like, sure. And I told all my girlfriends when we were watching this, I was like, that is my dream. I recently told Chris that. I was like, I want to go on safari. He's like, what?
You hate
a La
Quinta. What are you talking about?
because safari is a once in a lifetime thing. I feel like they actually it's not as long as it's not too touristy. I don't want to do the touristy one. I also don't want to be like murdered by poachers.
Right.
But I don't want to do
Harry
one
by your side. He can murder for you.
Oh my God, Harry knows his way around Botswana and the Nile.
He's killed many people. I've heard
and
him
this guy
talking about it.
Yes, no spoilers. I'm not reading any headlines because I want to find it all throughout the book. But I'm telling you not to give me any spoilers because people keep giving me spoilers because they read headlines. And I'm like, I haven't gotten to that chapter. But reading about his military experience, I have so much respect. I'm sorry that it took me so long to have so much respect for anyone that has been through boot camp or like in the army, like air, like whatever you've been through. They try to break you so much. I mean, he really gets into like how rigorous, and he's not being like, woe is me about it at all. He's just saying the facts. And I find it so fucking sexy. I'm like attracted to the people that have been like, in a new way. Like, I think that I always was like, you know, thank you for your service. And I know that what you've been through is hard, but there's something so sexy about these guys like going through boot camp, and it's almost like hazing, like a frat hazing. It's terrible what he went through and how he got trench foot and still had to run 8 miles on trench foot. I mean, you read about it and you're like, I wouldn't have survived.
Have you had that?
No. No one's had that. No one we know has had trench foot. It's when your feet are too wet. Ugh. And they get like they get infected from being in a trench all day. Like, it used to be a common, you know, ailment in wartime. But if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not lying to you guys. This book is fantastic, and I haven't been bored even for one page.
The spare, not the air.
Yeah, the spare, not the air. Okay, so I wanted to quickly do an unboxing because I have tons of boxes.
I'm so glad you're talking about something literal, not like, I'm going to unpack something for you guys.
Oh my God. You thought I was going to like get into some childhood trauma. This might be some childhood trauma I'm unboxing, honestly. I went down to the package room yesterday and there was a gigantic box. It weighs probably 40 pounds. And I was like, what the hell could this be? And then I saw on the side it says Paris Hilton. And I remembered that my manager's assistant wrote me last week and was like, hey, Paris Hilton sent you a lot of stuff this big, and he kind of sent me a picture, but I didn't look at it because I don't like any spoilers at all. And so I was like, send it to me. He's like, do you want us to send it to you? I'm like, yes. She sent it to their office. So nice of her to even put me on the list of people she sends stuff to. And we're gonna unbox it, and I think it's gonna be funny because I believe I know what it all is, but not each item. So let me just I have my handy.
There's a lot of pink in there.
Oh, it's got to be. This is going to transform my kitchen. Okay, so I'm opening it with the Go Guarded ring that I got when you run with. And it has a knife blade on the end. And this has been amazing for opening boxes. Look at it. I just use my finger and I go, wait.
Oh, wow. I need this for opening CDs at the merch booth.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah. Are people still buying CDs? Is it becoming like I literally don't know anyone with a CD. Well, I guess I have a CD player.
I sold out of all my vinyl. And yes, people buy CDs. They are buying more vinyl, but
it's crazy that CDs are just the new record. Okay, so
it's all going to come back.
Jesus Christ, this is
this is so long as you.
Whoa, it's huge. Okay, so it is a pink suitcase. It looks like that says Paris Hilton on it. I got to put this blade away because I'm going to cut myself. Hold on.
Please.
And then, hold on, let me dump this out. This is a lot, you guys. I'm sorry.
Nikki was going hiking the other day and texted me, texted the girls chat like 35 texts. Like, I'm going hiking. I'm going into nature. I want to be in nature, but I'm just letting you guys know in case I'm murdered. I'm bringing a weapon. It was like, I think the prelude to the hike was longer than the hike.
What do you mean, the prelude to it?
I'm going to get murdered. I washed my hair in case I get murdered. I just want my hair to be clean. I know you guys think I'm kidding, but I
don't appreciate your impression right now because it sounds a little bit like a lesbian.
Oh, sorry. Here's how it actually was.
It says you have a lesbian friend, and when you ever imitate her, it's like a little bit more butch, which I no problems with.
I have a lesbian
But as someone who
friend?
spent $40,000 on my new girl voice, I would like you to change your impression.
Let me do take two.
Hey guys.
Hey girls. Just in case I get murdered, I did wash my hair. I know you guys think I'm kidding, but I'm not because
I did. I thought if I get murdered on this hike, my hair was so greasy and there's crime scene photos, I want my hair to look a little bit like conditioned. I'm not kidding you. I was not trying to be funny. That's literally what I thought. Okay. So it is a trunk, a pink trunk that I'm opening. It's about 3 feet long, 2 feet wide. Okay, I'm opening it. It says Paris Hilton on the top. It's made out of like metal.
And it says, that's hot. There's a thing inside that says, that's hot. Here's something special from my Paris Hilton housewares collection launching on Amazon.com. I've personally selected some of my favorite items for you. Love always, Paris Hilton.
Okay, we have a baking sheet with different cookie cutouts. Okay, these are all kitchen items. I have such an unstocked
Wait, hold
kitchen.
that up.
That
is so cute.
Did you use any of those at her house when you did her cook show?
Yes, actually. That's a really good point. I think I saw a lot of this stuff. I think she was like getting ready to launch this when we were there because all of her items in her kitchen were pink. I think I'll probably gift this to someone because I've never once made cookies in my life, but I do like the baking sheet, which I just bought at TJ Maxx along with my menstrual cup. Just last week. I should have not bought it because she got me this.
And those cookies tasted weird.
Yeah. I put my blood into them.
They're red velvet.
More like brown velvet, chunky brown velvet. Okay. That's what I learned with the menstrual cup. Okay, so there's like that thing that you scoop there's like a kind of tool in here that you scoop the cookie batter with. I don't know what that is that you mix it with. And then there's, no, it's not like a spatula. It's more like let's see what they call it on here. Oh, silicone spatula. Yeah, but it's not. I think a spatula is one that you flip pancakes. You can't flip shit with this. It's a different kind of spatula.
It's a different type of spatula.
Okay, so maybe
So cute.
These are the kind of things that stress me out. Why is that called a spatula when it's totally different than another spatula? I don't like this. Okay. Chocolate mold set.
Heart-shaped silicone mold, 2-piece letters, numbers, silicone mold, 8 cavity heart-shaped silicone mold, 8-piece heart-shaped dollies, 2 wooden hammers. Okay, I can make chocolate. Doilies. It didn't say dollies. Doilies. Sorry, I missed that extra I. Okay, that's great.
A nonstick cookware set.
This is honestly bigger than my carry-on, just so you guys who aren't watching know.
I know, this trunk is probably going to be the thing that gets the most use for me out of this entire thing, just because I do not cook. But I love pink, and I mean, these kitchen items are so cute. Sorry, there's another box that I'm opening with my knife, my finger blade. What stuff do you use in your guys' kitchens? Like, what are your essential kitchen products that like every kitchen needs that mine probably does not have?
I use a spatula constantally.
A wooden one, plastic one, silicone?
I use a plastic one, I guess a silicone one. And then that's a gorgeous
white
pot.
cooking pot. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I love it. Need that. Desperately need that. I'm feeling like a woman. Shania Twain over here. Man. Now a lid to, I'm guessing, what is this is so cute too. It's like a crock pot. Oh my God. So freaking cute. A white crock pot.
Wow, these are ceramic looking too, which is expense.
Yes.
Love.
I mean, this girl she's not going to cheap out on anything. Spare no expense. Paris Hilton likes luxury and likes nice stuff. Okay, yes.
That is so beautiful.
Another pot. Now, when I look at these, do you know what I think? Not cooking. I think if there's ever a leak in my kitchen, this would be perfect for a leak. I literally think that. Or New Year's Eve, banging pots and pans. Oh, there's another thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's it called? A frying pan. That's to hit an intruder.
I know. I was just thinking that.
These are amazing. Oh my gosh, so much, you guys.
How many people do you think she sent this to?
What?
How many people do you think were the recipients of
Probably
this?
50. She's got a lot. If I'm on it, I'm guessing 50. I'm not.
But you're on the short list.
But she always DMs me. She invites me to all of her parties and all of her DJ events that she has. Like, she's really
explain
kind
celebrity
to me.
etiquette to me. Like, will you thank her for her gift?
I think this is a post on social.
Got it.
And then a tag for thanking. And yes, I probably should. I don't know. I'm not good about. You said that one of your bucket lists was like sending thank you cards.
Me?
Yes, you said that on our girls' chat.
Before I die, I hope I send a bunch of thank you cards.
No. Like, I guess your New Year's resolution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe not bucket list. I guess
before I die, I can't wait to do a really long chore.
I'm gonna send you a thank you card when you die. Finally, it's over. No, wait. You said you want to send more thank you cards, but like, why cards? Like, when I get a thank you card, I'm never like. All it does is stress me out and go, I need to send more thank you cards. Thank you cards are just triggering for people who don't send them. No one who, I think a text is fine. Why not a thank you text?
I don't even recognize this person you're talking about. As myself. I can't believe I said this.
You said, I want to send more thank you cards. I want to write more thank you cards. I want to be the type of person that sends thank you cards. I think you had recently gotten one from someone.
Me with ayahuasca or something on that trip.
No.
Really?
It was on the trip. It was maybe 3 days ago on the girls' chat. I guarantee you, Anya, it came from you getting a thank you card from someone and feeling guilty. Like, why don't I send thank you cards? Because that's all that thank you cards do is they trigger us. Why don't
I send thank you cards is different from I'd like to send more thank you cards.
No, you said I want to send more. I'm going to find the recording and bust you for it. Oh my gosh, it's like a cute insulated tumbler. Oh, this will be so cute for the podcast
and it's bedazzled.
room. Oh my God, it is bedazzled.
Very cute.
And it just dropped. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. She also sent me sunglasses a while back. That was cool. And then what is this? Another insulated bottle, a silver one. I mean, I needed all this kitchenware so badly. I don't have anything in there.
For all
I never
the intruders and the leaks.
Yes, intruders, leaks. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I don't
Oatmeal.
know if it'll make me cook anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand people that use stovetop over a microwave to heat something up. It maybe tastes 2% better, I would argue. What do you think? If you're heating up leftovers, are you throwing them on a saucepan? Or
I don't have a microwave.
You don't have a microwave. No. Why not?
I don't like them. They gross me out. I don't trust them. And
what?
I don't like it.
What don't you trust about them?
It's just ugly and I don't.
You're not telling it your deepest, darkest secrets. They're ugly? I mean, some of them look nice.
Some of them might look nice. I don't know. Just like it doesn't. I'm not in a rush that much. Obviously, you know me.
This is the opposite. We're the opposite. Okay, this already broke because it dropped. So that's important.
Like you could cook an egg in a microwave, but why would you cook an egg in a microwave instead of in a pan?
Because you don't make so much mess. It doesn't like smell up everything. It doesn't potentially burn, and then you put it on a timer. Yeah, I guess I would put an egg. Eggs are so quick, but I just don't understand. Ovens are the thing I don't understand. Why you would put anything in an oven unless you absolutely had to. It takes so long. Preheating it takes 20 minutes.
You know that gas ovens they're getting phased out and you're going to get fined or something in a few years if you have a gas oven. Like they're switching over to electric. I just saw this on Science Insider.
Stressful for homeowners, not me though. I was looking at homes to buy yesterday and I was like, nope. I could afford a home with a pool. I was like, oh, I could get this one. I could get this one. It's nice to know I could get these homes. And then I was thinking, I look at the fees, the property tax, and I go, okay, this is like all added up. This is not too bad. I could put the 10% down or 20% down, whatever it is. I could do this. I could have this house, but then I have to hire a guy to work on the pool. Then there's 4 bathrooms. I'm sure 3 of them need to be redone because the cabinet is some kind of wood that someone would judge me for, but I would never care about. And I can't do it. I'm not going to own a home. And then I have to replace the fucking stove. I just found out. No dice. Not happening. Going to keep written. Okay. I'll be right back after this.
Oh my God. That is so cute.
It's for this. Okay. We're back. I just found a leash part of this set that Paris sent me. And it's for your water bottle to carry it around like a purse, I think.
Oh my God. I love that.
Isn't that so cute? I mean, Noah, if this were here, I'd give it to you.
Or is it for Luigi?
Like you carry your water like
a purse. That's cute. That's across cool. The chest.
That's a good idea.
I just heard that phone purses are coming back, like just for your phone to like get us away from holding our phone. How do you guys how often is your hand gripping your phone throughout your day? Do you know what I mean? Like, how often is your phone in your hand? Sometimes I reply to text so fast that I almost have to take a breather because I don't want people to think I'm such a loser and to know that I'm absolutely on my phone when they send the text. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, it's the thing that's in my hands the most of anything, like more than my fiance.
Well, definitely that.
That'd be
so weird if you had
Just like holding
him throughout the day. I mean, how much do you touch? Let's get on to the subject of that. How much do you guys touch your partner throughout the day? Like, how often are there? And don't exaggerate. Don't try to not on a good day, not on Valentine's Day, not after a day after you had a fight. A normal day, if you had a gun to your head, how many minutes do you think you spend with physical contact on them on average? Like where you're skin to skin or like clothing to clothing touching the person that you live with.
I want to hear Noah's answer.
And sleeping counts. If you guys like sleep cuddled up, then you're getting 4 hours in at least.
We don't.
But who does that?
Like, we don't sleep cuddled up because it changes the whole temperature underneath the blanket. It's too hard to manage.
I can't believe people do that. When I see it in movies, I go, this is as unbelievable as special effects of aliens landing. Like people sleeping throughout the night and waking up with a man wrapped around them. I would be so uncomfortable with that. I wouldn't sleep the whole night.
Maybe 60 seconds all day totaled. If someone with a stopwatch was following us around, like I know this morning we held hands for 21 seconds.
Wait, where did you hold hands?
We were in bed, and the dog finally got out of the way because the dog is majorly cock blocking lately. So that's impossible to find each other.
Does it scratch on the door when you guys are making love?
She's right there, like filming.
In the room?
Yeah.
Filming?
She's just like, can you move like 20 degrees to your right? I gotta get a better
You feel
angle.
her eyes on you when you guys have sex? What about Buzzy?
Who's Buzz? Oh.
Buzzy's my cat. No, like sometimes he'll just sit there and watch. Cats don't blink, so it's kind of really distracting. But then he just goes away.
They're sociopaths.
Okay, so you held hands in bed. Was it like a lock? Like you were laying next to each other, like it's almost like your deathbed? Like you were like corpses laying next to each other?
In fact, I was probably talking about dying. You've got me on that train.
I got you on that train.
I mean, I'm watching this BTK murder thing too, so that was chilling
that
to go to sleep watching this murder documentary. So I probably woke up like, are you alive? Before I got out of bed, we held hands for a sec. We always hold hands for a second while we're watching TV downstairs, like before bed. And then we do a little touching in the day, like in the kitchen, walking by each other. I like that about him. He's very affectionate, and I think that's my love language.
Yeah, I love physical touch. Chris has been better about it last night. We went to a hockey game, and it was so fun. We went with my sister and Matt, and I got tickets from like this hookup. Like a guy was like, let's do I did a TikTok video for them where my parents were trying to guess like different hockey logos and like what the team was named. It was really funny. And then I made this connection with them, and he was like, if you ever want tickets. And so I was like, yeah, let's go. And so we went last night. It was so much fun. We got good seats, and then we got to go in this clubhouse where they had like a buffet, and you can watch the players walk in after the first period. Like it was like windows there where you could see all the players. And I kept meeting people that were like, I would find out later, like I would meet this guy, and then Matt, my sister's husband, and Chris would be like, he's a legend. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I need a Gary in my ear, like on Veep, where it's like, he's a legend. He's a broadcaster. He is a national broadcaster for the National Hockey League and
most valuable player.
Yeah, and I'm like, and also, you guys know my rule. Like, people who work in media want recognition. So, like, you were sitting right here. Tell him he's a legend. I don't know. I'm just meeting this guy who's an announcer, and of course, I have a lot of respect for a guy that's been an announcer, and I could tell he was like a big deal, but I didn't know I would. So anyway, I met him. I met the De Pere police chief. Works in that's where I'm from. That's where my parents live, and so he was like, gave me his personal number and was like, if your parents ever need anything. And I was like, fucking score. That was awesome.
Nice.
He taught me that there are dogs now that just sniff for handguns. Like if you see a dog at the mall, they're not looking for drugs. They're looking for handguns. Isn't that interesting?
Missouri, yes.
Oh yeah,
wow.
And
so they're busy.
Well, they don't bust a lot of people because they're preventative. He said because people see the dog and then they go into a store and kind of meander and then they walk out. They leave because they know what the dogs are looking for. So the dogs don't really have to bust anyone because they're just there, and the perp usually like leaves. And so anyway, I met a bunch of people back in the clubhouse area, and it was just a great time.
What was at the buffet?
Ratatouille. That's what I ate. It was delicious. And salad. And then they had like potatoes gratin and then salmon and a bunch of stuff. Like they had 2 different kinds of salads. It was really nice. And then, but Pepsi products, boo. A Diet Pepsi, when you are craving a Diet Coke, ain't gonna get it. But it actually was. I mean, I just don't know why Pepsi exists. Who prefers Pepsi over Coke?
People who like a slightly metallic taste. Doesn't it have a slightly aluminum?
I think it's the same as people who have Droid phones. People who have the green bubble when you text them, those are Pepsi drinkers. You just go, why? I know you have a better camera on the phone, but
it's
other
cheaper.
Than that, why are you
it's
doing
considerably cheaper.
It is?
Oh, yeah. Matt's phone bill is like... The phone is actually expensive, but his monthly thing is like nothing.
Well, that
it's
doesn't
like
make any sense
$20 a month.
Because it's not like you buy your phone service through Apple.
I don't know. I'm lost.
So part of it is you're leasing the phone, or you're like, leasing to buy. So you are like the payment for the iPhone, because it's so expensive, is in the bill.
Okay. But I think the phones themselves are just expensive as Apple phones. Like Anya said, I think Matt is just with a carrier that's cheaper than yours. It's not because of his phone.
I don't know. Android users know. They've all got cheap bills.
Really?
Ask any Android user.
And that's why they have the green. Well, I mean, every time I see a green bubble, I hate to say it, but there's a part of me that just like looks down on you slightly. Like not looks down, like there's something. I'm just saying it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
There's a part of me. I drive a dented, dirty, old like Lexus that makes me look poor, and I'm not. And I'm just telling you, green bubble texts make you look a little poor. Not that there's anything wrong with being poor, but there's a part of my brain that 2% of my brain thinks you're poor. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I have no judgment. And it's not because I'm like, oh, he's saving money. It just, why is that? Do you agree with me? Like when you text someone, there's a judgment that goes on, and I'm not sure it's poor, but there's something. I once said this on stage and people fucking lit up laughing, and I was really nervous to say it. And then people laughed so hard that I was like, I'm not the only one that thinks this.
Yeah.
A tinge of poor.
For me is that whenever I see the green text, I start thinking about like, oh no, now my text limit is going to run out for the month and I'm going to have to pay more.
Exactly. You get stressed out. You start to feel poor.
Yes.
And even talking to this poor person. People are so mad right now that
his bill is. I'm.
But it doesn't matter what the bill is. I'm wondering, why is it cheaper? That's what we need to know.
Okay.
You know?
Get on it, besties.
So we were leaving the hockey game last night, and Chris and I were having so much fun because he kept being like, right when the hockey players came out, all right, and the hockey players are all kind of like hot, like they're like these hot athletes. Right when they're coming out, this woman came up to me and was like, can I get a picture with you, like in the clubhouse? And she was like, I love you so much, and we went to the same high school, and I was kind of distracted, and I was trying to take a picture of the hockey players because Matt was excited, and I was like, wait, hold on. And Chris was like, I paid that woman to create a diversion so you couldn't make eye contact with any of those hockey players. And it really like excited me in a way that like he's never been a jealous person. He isn't a jealous person. But he's just joking. Like we'll be watching TV and a guy will take his shirt off like on the show alone. Like it'll be like an old fat man with his shirt off, and Chris will just slowly put his hand in front of my eyes, like he'll just lower it. So like cute. Anytime something gets too hot, we always like slowly lower a hand in front of each other's eyes. So there's just this like kind of acknowledgement that there are other people, and I think that it's because he does feel so like safe with me that he can joke about it even. And we were talking about like extended eye contact that you've had with like eye contact really can be like, oh, I can have a connection with that person. And he once had he said up to. He was like, I had several witnesses, 7 seconds of eye contact with Rihanna, unbroken. 7 seconds. And then I go, let's have 7 seconds because I want to match that at least. I don't even think, and we did 7 seconds, and I go, that is definitely the longest we've ever looked into each other's eyes, ever. 7 seconds is so, unless we were like breaking up or like, I don't know, I was looking for a sty or something. Like, there's no reason to look in someone's eye for 7 seconds. He was at some award show and she was singing and she was getting mic'd and she was like in a hotel room like preparing and doing vocal warm-ups, and she locked eyes with him as she was singing. And everyone in the room saw it and were like, dude, what the hell? And he's like, I don't even know what to do with this. But it was like there was a vibe, and that made me very horny, and I love hearing a story. And he's not someone who ever brags about getting women or having moments with women. He is not that type of person. This is a trustworthy story. He would never make this up. There have been times where I'm like, I think that girl likes you, and he's like, no, what are you talking? Like, I want to create stories, and he's a truthful person. So I love that story. But we were leaving last night, and so we were kind of like, it was just like a flirty mood because, and I go, Chris, if I have a vibe with Louis, can I just write it out? And Louis is the big mascot. And they were like, Louis is going to come over and take a selfie with you. And I was like nervous because I don't like mascots. I don't like that there's like a human in there doing stuff. Like it just stresses me out. And they've always kind of scared me as a kid. Like, do you talk to them? I know there's a human. I feel like I'm being lied to. I'm being gaslit to pretend this is like an animal. I don't like any of it. But Louis came over and I'm kind of having anxiety about it, but also laughing at my anxiety because my sister's like, he's coming. And I'm like, no, Louis. But I told Chris, I was like, if Louis and I like do catch a vibe, like, he's like, just ride it out, ride that Zamboni. And so we were leaving and he put his hand like on my, I had my hand around his shoulder and he had his hand on my like butt, kind of like hip area, which literally I'm only ever touched there in that way by creepy men at meet and greets. Like Chris never does that. And I was like, I love this like butt hook you're doing. Like it's kind of like a hook around my hip. And I was like, and then he like let go because Matt and him were talking about some fucking architecture in downtown St. Louis as we were walking out. And I was like, I want that hip hook again. And I like walked over and I was like, can you do that like butt hook again? And he was like, yeah. And so we were walking and he put his hand in my jean pocket. It felt so good.
Cute.
I loved it. And it was like, I was so glad I didn't have to exactly tell him to do it. He did it naturally to begin with. And I was like, I love it. And it was just so, I love affection. I love holding hands. Last week we went to the botanical gardens with my sister's kids, and then Matt's mom and dad came, and they're like, in their 60s, and we said goodbye to them and we watched them walk off and they were holding hands. And Matt was like, I don't think I've ever seen them hold hands. And it was so sweet.
Whose parents were holding hands?
Matt's parents.
Oh.
It was so nice. Do you guys hold hands when you walk? I've never been a couple that does that. Even when I try to be, I'm like, I feel like I'm playing Red Rover. Like, I just think I start being like, I'm worried that they want to stop holding my hand so much. I'm so aware of that I want to let go. How do you guys feel about holding hands?
Love.
As couples. Love.
And we do it, and I have to be the bottom hand. He has to be the top hand. Otherwise, it's not going to work out.
How often, like, when you guys are walking through, like, national parks, and, like, I picture you guys always going to, like, festivals and, like, eating, like, going to food trucks. Like, you're holding hands in line and stuff? No way.
Not during hiking because you have to kind of walk like in line form. But yeah, Avi's a really good hand holder. But I do get annoyed if he's the bottom hand and if his hand, like, we'll start holding hands for like a little bit of time and he gets kind of like intense. So slowly the grip gets tighter and tighter and his hand gets clammier and clammier, and that's when I have to release.
So you will be one of these couples that if you go to like a concert or like a music, like, or I'm just picturing you, like, you walk down the street holding hands. Like if you get out of the car and you're walking to a restaurant, you're holding hands.
Yes.
Get out.
And
my
he initiates.
mind is blown.
I know. I love it.
Wait a second. It is so sweet. That is such a nice, there's no way that you can be in a fight when you're holding hands. You know what I mean? Like it protects you. It's like you can, I guess, but I'm guessing if you guys were having a tense moment in the car and you get out, you're not going to hold hands unless you've made up, right? Mm-hmm. So it is a sign that things are okay, that this is peacetime. It's so sweet, and I think it's really good to do. Anya, what about you? Do you and Matt hold hands when you walk?
Yeah, not all the time. We go rock climbing a lot, and I insist on holding hands during rock climbing. I'm kidding. No, yeah, we do like to hold hands, but yeah, not all the time. We walk a lot together. I realize.
And you hold hands when you walk?
Not always, but like, you know, it's
how much of
cold
the
where I
time?
live, so we're wearing gloves and things.
Okay, but if you're walking around, like, I don't know, like if you are walking, you park and you go to a restaurant and it's 60 degrees outside, will you hold hands?
Maybe, yeah. I do love holding his hand. He has great hands. They're like the perfect, but what is
if you're in line waiting to order something, are you holding hands?
No.
Noah is.
Really? That's cool.
It's so sweet. I always see couples like that, and I used to be very like, we get it. You love each other. You're blocking the sidewalk. You're taking up too much room. I used to want to Red Rover them and just run through it and break it. But now I think it's adorable, and I think it's a very good thing for relationships to have lots of affection.
How has it been for you to make this transition from someone who was kind of anti-physical affection, or at least you weren't into asking for it a lot? You kind of wanted guys to just intuit that you wanted it.
Yeah.
How has this changed for you, or what made you more comfortable with asking for it?
I think because I think I saw Chris one time like snuggling his nephew, and I was like, this guy loves snuggles. Like, he's an affectionate person. Like, this guy loves hugging. This guy is someone who even kids perceive as someone who like likes to be like, you know, jumped on and like squeezed. And I'm like, I remember seeing that and being like, oh, this perception I have of him as someone who's like kind of like doesn't need that, doesn't want that, is wrong. It's in there. And I think that opened a window. Once I was like, I'm gonna get some fucking nephew time. And so I pretended to be his nephew. I cut my hair into a little bowl cut and climbed on his lap and started shooting him with a water gun. And I got the intimacy I desired. No, I think that like even the other night he was on his phone or computer, he's like finishing up stuff. Work, he came over, we ate, and then he took out his computer, and I was just kind of like, I was done eating for like maybe 20 seconds, and I was like, when are we gonna like snuggle? Like, I was already being like, when do I get some sugar? Because I didn't see him we don't live together, so I don't see him all day. We wake up in the same bed, but he goes to, you know, and maybe 2 nights a week he stays over, and those are pretty brutal for him because I have a small bed. It's queen, but it feels fucking small, and I'm a small queen like Kate Middleton, and it's can't stop talking about Harry. And I'll say one more thing about the Harry book. Can I just say this unexpected thing? You'll like this. I dare you,
yes.
Anya, read this book and you tell me you won't be talking about it as much as me. I guarantee you will.
I
Anyone who's rolling their eyes
it.
at me, you read the book, read 3 chapters. They're very short, and you tell me that you're not hooked. Download a sample on your phone.
I like how mad you get.
Because everyone doesn't like them. I'm mad about it. Everyone's like, they're the royals. Why do we even care? Because it's interesting, okay? And because this person is admitting all these things, tragedy, you can learn from his story. But the thing I like about this, that I don't think any of us would allow if our husbands wrote a book about their life, is them talking about their exes in such a loving way and talking about the love they had, like the true love that he had for his girlfriends prior to Meghan, which makes me realize Meghan is a strong, secure woman and didn't like go, you need to change this chapter about Chelsea, or you need to change this chapter about Cressida or Caroline or whatever, because he talks about them where in a way that, and I'm not a jealous person, if I read a chapter out of Chris's book about his exes the way that Harry writes, I would be jealous, and I would be like, I don't need you to you don't need to tell everyone your feelings about this girl and how you fell in love with her and like the intimacy of your relationship. So that's the kind of stuff you get out of this book, and it makes me realize that Meghan Markle is extremely secure and that they are secure, and I'm jealous. And so I hate her. I'm back to hating her again. God damn it. Oh, God, comes full circle. So, yeah, the other night I was just like, I want some sugar. And he was just like, I'll be with you in 10 minutes. And it was nice because it was communicating. Like, I needed sugar. And then we laid and watched Alone and held hands. And I usually take his hand and like put it in my mouth kind of. And I like rest his hand like... I just kind of chew on his fingers and just go like,
okay, let's go.
And like kind of like, I don't know. I just want to eat him. And it wasn't even like sexy times. I was a little bit like horned up because of his buzz cut, but it was more just like
buzz cut, dude.
Right?
Yeah, you posted a photo.
Yeah, who did you say he looked like, Noah?
I was like, that's total Transporter vibes. Jason Statham.
Oh yeah,
it's like his biggest movie or something.
Yes. I thought you were saying Train Spotting, and I just picture like a skinny British man on a toilet, like coming out of a toilet. That's the only thing I know from that movie. I never saw it. But we should play a game where you just say movies, and I say one scene that I remember from them. Avatar, just like blue people that look like they have too much Botox between their eyes, looking up at like an asteroid that's about to hit. Like just going
When
like,
Harry Met Sally.
Oh, well, I've seen that too much, so I know that one. But movies I haven't seen.
Oh, okay. Movies you haven't seen. Terms of Endearment.
Walking on a beach crying.
Poltergeist,
a girl and a TV. And there's like wind blowing and like in the living room. What? Children of the Corn?
Children of the Corn.
Children in corn. Children coming out of corn husks. But yeah,
Ghostbusters.
I've never seen that. You're right. That the green blob monster, the big marshmallow monster, the black guy, Dan Aykroyd. Who you gonna call? That movie scares me still. I don't like. I still have a little bit of like. The movie's too scary for me.
Age of Innocence.
Age of Innocence? Oh, I don't know. Like a piano and a girl with like an off the shoulder.
Yes,
like
Not
dress.
far.
Really?
The Fabulous Baker Boys.
I don't know, like banjos on a porch. I guess I'm misconstruing it with like that one thing that was like Old River Blues, where it was like George Clooney and he would like sing about.
Old River Blues.
You remember that thing that
Deliverance?
No, they were like obsessed. Everyone was obsessed in like probably 1999 with George Clooney and a bunch of other guys, and it was like they played banjos, and it was like a band.
The Coen Brothers film?
Yeah, it was some fucking show like that. Anyway,
Drive?
Yeah, I got my snuggles in.
Okay,
Drive. That's Ryan Gosling looking out of a car, like, and there's a lot more violence in it than you would think. That's what I know about that because I want to see it, but I can't because I'm a Gosling girl. I used to not get it, but now I'm kind of on board. And I really love that during The Notebook, they did not get along and did not like each other at all. They kind of hated each other, and then they fell in love. How good is that?
Oh, in the story?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith? I'm kind of horned up for that. I've never seen it, but I want to see it because I want to see them have chemistry. Like knowing that they fell in love on the set.
Honestly, the best part of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it never made it to the film, and it's a photograph of Brad and Angelina holding hands way off camera on the side of the set, ready to film. Oh yeah, I'll find it.
Oh, okay. So they can get it. They can excuse it. Like we were getting ready to shoot the scene, so we were getting into character.
Yeah, but they're like the little spoon 10 meters from the meters.
They were at Jamba Juice in line. Like no one.
yeah,
and Avi holding hands. God, you don't realize I read this book called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really recommend it too. I just finished it. My sister recommended it to me. It's about this woman that was it's a fiction, but it's this woman that was a Hollywood starlet through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and she's a big star, and you just learn about the Hollywood machine and how they would like put you with different guys to like you would fake romances to sell a movie, and you realize how much often that happens, how many beards there are out there of people who are gay. Like your career used to tank if you were gay. I mean, it still can affect your career so much to come out as gay. That's why Scientology fucking exists still. It's because they've got everyone in that program to admit they're gay in a closed room, and they go, we'll tell everyone if you ever leave us.
Right.
Did you see Gerard Carmichael last night at the Golden Globes?
I did not.
Yes.
So Tom Cruise wasn't there to accept 3 Golden Globes, and he goes, maybe instead of these Golden Globes going to Tom, maybe we give instead of getting effort to find these Golden Globes to get to Tom, maybe we put some effort into finding Shelley Miscavige. And the whole room fucking went. And if you don't know who she is, David Miscavige is like the head of Scientology, and his wife went missing like 8 years ago and has just never been seen. You've never heard of this, Anya? You definitely have. What are you doing, Anya? Is something going on?
I found the picture and sent it to you of Angelina and Brad. And I got the info about androids. Okay. But I didn't know she was missing. I was thrown by your pronunciation of his last name, but now I know what you're saying.
Miscarriage. David Miscarriage. But it was trigger warning.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, but he the joke wasn't amazing. It was more serious of like, we need to find Shelley Miscavige. I love it. First of all, there's a million missing persons out there that need to be found. And this, do we really care about her whereabouts? I don't know that it's less about that and more about fuck you, Scientology, calling you out. This is weird. And everyone in the room gets weird because there's Scientologists in the room. I one time was at a pitch meeting and I felt like I was in good company in Hollywood. Like we were having a lot of fun. The pitch went so well. And I made a joke about Scientology being, a cult and them being horrible people and it being founded on a guy who just wanted to like fuck people. You know, like all religions are founded on like one guy being like, I want to fuck more people and not have to pay taxes. That's what every religion is, kind of, to me at least. I am spiritual. Don't get on me about that. But organized religion, bad, bad, bad. So anyway, I made some Scientology joke because I was so naive in thinking that no one in this room is wackadoo enough to fall for Scientology. And this one woman who is going to buy the show potentially that I just pitched says, I'm actually a Scientologist. And it was the most uncomfortable moment of my entire there's no getting out of that. And then she goes, I'm just kidding. And it was the best feeling. It was orgasmic to be released from that vacuum of hell. I felt like Xenu or whatever was in the room with us. I felt maybe this religion is real because of how much I felt like I was in hell instantly when I said that. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. As much as I don't, you can say a bunch of shit on this podcast and no one can go, I'm a Scientologist, because there are people listening probably that are and are like, hey, I can't help it. I just am, and I believe in it. And so I have empathy for people who fall in, like, I don't look at all Scientologists as bad people. I look at them as victims, honestly. And I know that some people are like, I'm not a victim. I look at people who are stuck in the Catholic Church system as victims. I look at myself as a victim to celebrity and worshiping celebrity. I don't hate everyone. And you know that I always think that no one can help the way they are. So it all falls back to that. But I feel like we should be able to call out how ridiculous Scientology is. But the clip of him saying this, the room is weird. And I love it. It reminds me of when Ricky Gervais used to host the Golden Globes and would just call out pedophilia and just I remember he was like, talking about, don't get up here when you accept your award and get on your pedestal and tell us about, human rights issues. Shut the fuck up. You work for Apple. You know what they do in their factories. Shut up. He was like, if the Taliban came out with a streaming service, you would be on it. Right. Don't act like it was so good. And there's this clip of Tom Hanks being like, I don't like this whole narrative. It's like, shut up. Stop taking yourself so seriously. He's calling you out for your hypocrisy, which we all have, but I found it delightful. And I thought Gerard Carmichael has a target on his back now.
What do you think about the whole Nepo baby thing and Variety calling out I
loved it because I think it just made it so we all know about it now. I think everyone in the industry already kind of knew about Nepo babies. And now I think it's like, my mom probably knows what a Nepo baby is. And I hope that Poppy's a Nepo baby someday. I feel like I can spawn Nepo babies now because I've made it. It's kind of a cool thing to be able to give to someone who doesn't, like, I don't know, like, I don't fault them. They want to pursue the thing that they grew up around, that they probably have an inclination towards because they were raised by someone who was good at it. I don't, and then I get, like, I really respect the ones that go by a different name and want to, like, avoid it. But I don't fault Nepo babies at all. I just think that, there's always unfair advantages to anything. What about, why don't we just hate all beautiful people that were born beautiful? They're getting roles that people who are more talented actors would never get because they're not beautiful. Like, there are so many, I would say 99.99999999999999999% of people could never play Marilyn Monroe in a movie. And are we mad that, like, Ana de Armas got it because she looks the most like her? Like, I don't know. These people can't help that they were born famous, and so they're supposed to just become an accountant because their dad is famous, and you're not supposed to use that connection. Everything's connections. This goes back to the Meghan Markle thing. We hate her because she found her way into the castle. She worked her way in. She wanted this guy and she got him, and she figured out how to do it. How is that different than anything you've ever gone after in your life? It's not. What do you guys think?
I don't think she climbed her way there. I think the guy saw her on a Snapchat, or he saw her on Instagram. Her friends set them up, and it's not that different from how a lot of celebrities meet.
Well, no, I would say it's not different from how you and Matt got together and what the
I called
persuasion.
My publicist. He called his.
No,
publicist.
It wasn't about that. How does anyone get together? They see someone they're attracted to.
Yes.
They make an effort towards being in that person's radar. So whatever you got to do that, I've done very manipulative things to get in on a guy's radar. of like,
True.
I'm going to see if maybe he can swing by our show and be on it. Like he's coming through a press tour. Let's see if we can get him. I've done shit like that. I'll admit it. What do you feel about the Nepo baby stuff? Like, I like the call out, but I don't feel bad for them, but I don't think they don't deserve to work or something.
Yeah, I think that the term is too broad. Also, like Evan Rachel Wood was called a Nepo baby, but her parents were like theater. They're in the theater and like working as stage.
My dad is in Blazing the Moon Kings. I did get a leg up. My dad is a performer and encouraged me to perform. I'm a little bit of a Nepo baby. Like I had a leg up in terms of that. My parents had musical instruments around. They like performing. They like good TV. So I benefited from that. Whereas some people grew up with parents who had no culture around them and they still made it. Let's talk about Phoebe Bridgers. She's called a Nepo baby. Her dad is like a lighting guy on sets. It's like I don't know that these. I think you're right.
It's
too
like if
broad
you're
of a
in
term.
the industry and you have power to give a job to someone over someone else, someone that you're related to, then sure, there's nepotism there. But I think they just threw a bunch of people in because it made for
it was a
richer
fun
article. Yeah.
And it's just fun to hate people you're jealous of. This is the bottom line about everything. Like any hatred you ever have towards someone you don't know that's a celebrity, you're jealous. Or they're showing some quality that you don't like about yourself. This goes for me. Anything you hear about, like one day you're like, Nikki's annoying today. It's probably because I'm exhibiting something that your mom did or that you do when you really don't like yourself. And that's why. And it's the same goes for me. And whenever I don't like a celebrity, it's generally because I'm jealous of them. And also I feel like there is a bit of a meritocracy once you get into the business. Okay, let's say you get a role because your dad is Judd Apatow. Maude Apatow wouldn't continue working unless she was good.
Right.
I don't think we would tolerate it. And I don't think Judd would be putting his kids in movies unless they could do a good job. I got everything that I got up until, maybe 7 years ago was Amy Schumer. Inside Amy Schumer, Trainwreck, I Feel Pretty. Every single credit I had, all the biggest theaters I'd performed in were opening for Amy. Amy. Was I a friendo baby? Like, I don't, it was all because of my connection to her. And she would always say, I'm not putting you in this movie because you're my friend. I'm putting you in it because I think you're talented. And I really believed her, but I did get that connection because we were friends. And so I don't know. I think it's just another way that we can just hate people that we're jealous of. Mm-hmm. And there's this quote in The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo that I love, that she was just like, if people don't hate you, how famous are you really? Like, if you got it, people are going to hate you if you're famous. And not that that's anything I really want to be. Last night was a perfect amount of fame. I didn't get on the Jumbotron, but I got on the announcers were doing the game, and like during a timeout, they like put the camera on me. And on the Jumbotron, they were doing this thing called they were doing like twist and shout. They were playing twist and shout. And so they were like filming people like twisting and shouting. So I was dancing just in case the camera came on me, because I didn't want to look like one of those people that's just like not having fun. So, and I was just twisting and I like that song. And so they kind of put the camera on me, and I felt that was a perfect celebrity moment of like, I love when I'm being filmed and I don't know it. As much as like the paparazzi are horrible people, I like being popped. That's what
I love that
Harry
you're going
calls it.
out so much and having fun, and it sounds like you're like really into being home and getting, more grounded with your family and your dude. Life sounds good.
It is good. I'm going to see Poppy and Arlo at their gymnastics today and going to watch them. And that's going to be so fun, because I love videos on Reddit and TikTok and stuff where it's like a little kid at a recital and they see their parent or someone they know and they start to like get so excited. They like start to cry. And I think that's going to be today. I think they'll be so excited to see me. Let's go to break and come back with more right after this. All right, Noah, let's play a little game called Collection of Cuz. It's been a while.
Getting ready for some cuh.
So
I love when Kirsten says, getting ready for some Okay, so it's been a while since we played Collections Cuz, and we're kind of changing it. Noah's going to read things off and we are going to decide whether or not they are k or not. And k, is if you something that you would not do unless there are people around that you do to be perceived as cool. It really is just sarcastic cool. So you just say cool with sarcasm, like k. And it's judgmental, and it's great to yell at people who rev their engines when they peel out of parking lots. And let's talk about some k's and see if these things are k.
Okay, so tell me if this is k. Last night, what was the award show that was on? The Golden Globes?
Golden Globes.
All right. So House of Dragon actress Millie Alcock had a seemingly tipsy demeanor while on stage with co-star Emma Darcy and director Miguel Sapochnik. So as the director accepted the award for Best Television Series, throughout his speech, Alcock was giggling and she was pointing to someone in the audience and putting her finger in her mouth, like very sultry, like definitely intoxicated.
I'm going to call this a k. I need to see the footage, but I'm going to go off and say k because drinking makes you kind of k. Like when it opens up this part of you that's like, we've all been drunk and been like, I'm so hot. Like you just feel hotter, you feel sexier. And if she's putting her hand in her mouth when she's on stage and like smiling and pulling focus, k. I gotta call it a k. What do you guys think?
My first instinct was like not k, just like self-conscious.
Oh, I think self-aware.
I think she's like nervous, so she's trying to be like, this is like not that great of a moment. Maybe she's nervous about all the attention on her.
Want to see the footage?
Yeah, I'd like to see the footage. Let's review it.
Okay, here we go. She's kind of like laughing to herself, cupping her mouth.
Okay, I'm changing my mind. Not so k. No, she's not k. She looks like she truly doesn't know anyone will see this. So the person you hear laughing is the person that's filming this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she totally doesn't look. Okay, so I thought she was doing it to get attention. I've been someone that does this. I'm not going to lie. I know people are watching me, even though it looks like I don't know people are watching me. I'm aware. And you try to like look hotter than you are, like would be if you just, no one was watching you. This seemed like she actually thought all the attention was on this guy. She was just hanging on to someone. She looked totally in her own world. I am going to deem this not k.
Okay.
And I think my initial k assessment was jealous.
Jealous because you want to be drunk or win an award?
Both. God. I'm going to the Critics' Choice Awards on Sunday, and I'm going to find out if I win for Best Comedy Special for my HBO special, Good Clean Filth. I was nominated. And I find out, thanks, on Saturday if I won, because it's like, it won't be presented at the awards, like at the main award. It's like a red carpet. It's still a award, but it's not one of the main ones. So I'll find out on Saturday if I won. But I had to tell them if I was going to go on like weeks ago. And I'm like, just tell me if I won. I don't want to show up to this thing on Sunday knowing I haven't won, which I don't think I'm going to win. And I'm not going. And I realize I'm not going because I'm going to win. And I'm going because I want to wear a pretty dress. I want to go to a red carpet event. I want to have good stories about running into celebrities. And I want to just have fun. So I'm going much like I'm going to the gymnastics thing today. I just want to go to have fun. I don't care about winning. I really don't think I'm going to win. And I'm sticking to it. But I do get to wear a really
some of these
dress
award shows, they want to know the attendance so that they can give you an award. Like they're not going to give an award sometimes to people that don't show up.
No, so this one isn't one of those. It's already determined. And so I'll find out on Saturday when we're in Maine this weekend. We are in Albany tomorrow night, Thursday and Friday night. 2 shows in Albany, Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday in Maine, 2 shows. First one is sold out, only single tickets available. And then the second show, very close to selling out. I'm so excited. Portland, Maine at the State Theater. So I will see you guys there. Okay, let's keep going with Kiss.
Okay. Kaylee
Cuoco
and Tom Pelphrey.
Do
you know what this is?
No.
I'm sorry. I just,
you have
no
to.
shade.
I
think she's K.
Okay.
But I also think she's actually extremely talented. But I do think there's... actually, you know what? I go back and forth on her. And you know what? I'm just jealous. I'll say that because I'm all over the place. Okay, tell me what you did.
Okay, according to Jezebel, they threw a batshit baby shower. And the reason why...
Yes, Brad Pitt was there.
No. Well, yes, he was. But the reason why I would say it's batshit is because if you were in LA over the weekend and you looked up at the sky, you saw 400 units of drones make images in the sky. One was a stork carrying a baby with the words "Big Baby City" below it. Another was
one was a cum shot. Like, why don't we just talk about how this baby really got made? One was
the other one was like two
ovaries,
two gigantic parents holding the hands of a toddler between them, and this was all for their baby shower.
No, I think the drone stuff is cool. Actually cool. Like 400? I think that like yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of it's definitely excessive and stupid and a waste of money, but I kind of think it's cool. Like I do think it's cool, but I do think Brad Pitt coming to your baby shower and like I just think Hollywood friends, like people that are like we're best friends and we're famous. No, you're not. I kind of don't believe it. I think that so many friendships are fake. I think there's a couple that are actually real, but I think most Hollywood friendships are publicity stunts. And I think that one was a big one. Especially like Brad Pitt coming. I don't even know why he was there, but what do I know? I think maybe she does have great friends, and again, jealous. She's been married like 4 times. She's always like marrying like a hot guy who like seems to love her a lot. She can cut her hair and really look cute into a pixie cut. She's a really talented actress. She's had huge success in everything she touches. And now she's pregnant and I'm trying to freeze my eggs and it's a whole thing. So it's all jealousy, but I'm going to say cool, not cuh.
Same.
What about drone show? Okay. Same for you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. How about Ben Affleck was seen filming something for Dunkin' Donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, in his hometown of Boston.
Do you really need more money? Do you really need more? We already see you with Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks cups every single day. We know you love Dunkin'.
Wait, hold up.
I thought about this morning as I was washing my face. I go, how much money? He went to a drive-thru and worked the drive-thru at a Dunkin'. It was a whole fucking stunt. Oh, Ben Affleck's giving me my coffee.
Goes through the drive-thru, and apparently it's for a commercial that they're speculating is for the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. How much money were you offered? Why do you need more money?
He's one of us, though, Nikki. He was working the drive-thru. He's one of us.
He's so one of us. I listen, it's funny, it's interesting. You go through the drive-thru, Ben Affleck is there. You should have been tipped off by all the cameras filming you as you went through the drive-thru. I just look at some of these things and I go, how much money did you need to get paid for this? You're going to see me do some endorsements this year because, things are coming in for me to like promote stuff. And you're going to go, how much money? And I'm going to say it's a lot, And I need it. I'm still on the up and up. I'm still trying to create a nest egg. Ben Affleck doesn't need more money. But you know what? It might have been a cute idea, and he does love Dunkin'. So actually, I went full circle on this. I like it. I think it's good. I just roll my eyes at those two. And again, jealous. I just think he is adorable, and I love how affectionate they are with each other. I study their hand placements when they're walking down the street. He seems like a good stepdad. He seems like a good dad. He's hot. She's hot. And yeah, I'm totally on board. It's cool. But I gotta say, like, there are some things that I just think celebrities just take it down. We don't need you to have a tequila brand. Everyone's so greedy. Everyone's all, just be more savvy when you buy things from celebrities. Try to see if it's really something that they actually enjoy. But Duncan, we've seen him spotted with it a lot. So I think this is cool.
Okay. I think if it's not an ad, it's but if it is an ad, it's fine.
Interesting. So you think if he was just working the register for what? To be like
for
undercover
publicity, to be like, we're
boss?
So down to earth, then that to me is like, get over yourself. But if it's an ad, if he's working, it's going to be something, got it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. That's fair. All right, final thought.
Okay, so the last story. Kim K's former media strategist claims that the infamous 2012 flower bomb attack was actually a manufactured media moment.
I can't believe a PR person is able to say behind the scenes of what happens. And you know what? This should open everyone's fucking eyes. If this is true, so Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians do, by the way, is distract from bad news with stories. They try to stay in the headlines. Someone on Demois on the subreddit. So this is what happened. Kim Kardashian got attacked with flour for wearing like fur or something, and people are constantly trying to make vegans look crazy and PETA look insane. And so if this was not a person from PETA who did this, and now PETA's catching flack for it, because afterwards, Kourtney and Khloe made statements of like, PETA, how dare you do this to my sister, and you try to stand up for animal rights, and yet you treat people this way. Like, PETA got dragged for this. That was a PR stunt because she was also trying to recover from something. Noah, did it say in the article what she was trying to spin? It was some bad press she got, and so then she needed to be portrayed as the victim.
It didn't say, but he just said that she specifically told him she would do anything to get famous.
Yes. And again, I don't fault her for that. That was always a goal of hers. She was very, she's been very outspoken about that. And like, that is what she wanted when she was a child. And it's always what she wanted was to become famous. She fucking did it. But it should make everyone so much more like a little conspiracy theorist about everything celebrities do, because relationships, breakups, stunts like this, someone throwing flowers, someone being victimized. If you ever are going for a celebrity going, "Aw," think about that, because that is a great.
But it wasn't gluten-free flour. So they called the PR person to do this to them, and then they would take.
Well, their
pictures
PR
of it?
person organized.
Yeah.
What can we do to get people on your side, because there's some bad press where people are talking shit about you.
And the Kardashians
I know,
are denying
So
be
it's
it.
all an
attacked.
inside job.
Huh?
It's all an inside job.
He claims.
Yes.
The Kardashians are saying that they still believe the blame was on PETA.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too, that someone in the Demois subreddit was like, I think that this being leaked is a PR scheme by the Kardashians to stay in the news. That we shouldn't even trust this story of it being this is how conniving they are, and this is how calculated they are. And in their new show, which Anya loves, like she would often say to me, they're really showing like a lot of stuff that you're like, wow, this like is behind the scenes. Like they're showing more than the show. Like you really get a sense that they're really giving up something of themselves. And I'm like, no. This is all, anything you see that you go, wow.
Right.
They really were vulnerable here. It was organized to be so. Even the fight between Kim and Kourtney. If you remember that fight and it's a fucking brawl and you go, why would they air this? Can you only imagine the stuff they don't air if they aired that? They needed that. That is still making the rounds. That's a huge moment. And they know, the Kardashians know that any bad press, it gets you in headlines, people talk about you. And then eventually people forget. People do not associate. I'm not saying that sex tapes being leaked are not a really terrible thing for people that actually deal with the trauma of it and being mocked for it and aren't in control of it. People like Paris Hilton, who did not orchestrate her own. But people like Kim Kardashian, who there's so much evidence saying that she did orchestrate it and that her family did. They are smart. They know that wasn't going to define her forever. Yes, it is a joke that is made constantly about her. But when you think of the Kardashians, you don't think of that sex tape. It's not, it is just part of their story, but is not the whole story. Where you would think a sex tape, that would just be who you are from now on. Even Chris Rock getting slapped, I go, man, this is going to be his legacy. When I hear Chris Rock, I don't think about the slap.
Right.
The Kardashians understand that we move on from things quickly. So really look with a discerning eye at anything you see out of them or anyone who's mega famous. It is all calculated, you guys. And even Taylor Swift, I now have to look at everything that comes out of her camp as this. She wanted us to see this. This is not, I get to know Taylor Swift, the true Taylor Swift, through her music. That is how she lets me into her diary. It is not through leaks of her doing I'm going to take you backstage in this special session. That's more, performative which no shade. It's fine. But I just remember, Anya, do you still maintain that this show is do you think it's calculated, or do you think they really, because they sign off on everything. They're in the edit.
Oh, completely. It's all produced by them too, I think. No, I was going to send you, they're so in charge of their image and everything they're doing. They're like Swiftie geniuses. I was going to send you a thing I saw on Instagram the other day of Kim talking about how she's shielding her kids from all this terrible press about their father, and she'll never say a bad thing about their father. And I was like on the verge of tears, about to send it to you and be like, her life is so hard. And then I stopped myself and was like, God damn it. They got me.
They got you. You know, and I really do like Kim. I think she's actually probably a really sweet person. And I have friends who have worked on her show and worked on those shows, both the E one and the Hulu one. And they say, by far, insider info from people who really know what's happening and like spoke to me as a real person, Kim is the nicest of all of them. Kim is always nice, treats everyone with respect. She is the nicest. So I will always like Kim for just being nice to crew members, as much as the other family members maybe aren't so much that way. Not going to name names, but you probably know who. And Kim is the nicest. And but she did have a CGI tear that they put into the Hulu one. It was on TikTok. Just type in Kim Kardashian CGI tear. It is a CGI tear, you guys. They spent thousands of dollars to have her cry. It was so funny. Because I thought there's no way. And I didn't get confirmation from the producers that I know, but they didn't not say it. Do you know what I'm saying? I go, did you guys CGI tear? And she's like, what do you think, Nikki?
Do you think Kim got the Paris cooking set? That's hot.
Yeah, I actually probably think she did get it.
Yeah, and I bet Kim Kardashian is the most ASMR voice ever, and I love when she does like unboxings of things that she gets and is like, oh, look at this packaging. It's so nice. Like they all have like really, I love their voices. They're captivating. Have you ever watched the Kardashians, Noah?
I think like a long time ago, like probably some of the first couple of seasons. But you know,
okay, so you know everything about them though, right?
I know enough, you know, like through having to do like news gossip stories. But I like that comedian who impersonates them because she's so accurate. I can't recall her name off the top of my head.
God, we gotta find it. So we're not leaving
Nikki,
people hanging.
I'm
I
obsessed
post her
with
all
You
the
sent
time,
her
and
to
I
me.
can't remember her name either. I mean, I follow her, but I follow a lot of people, so I don't know how to find it. But she is so good. Hey, dolls. And they're always shaking their salads and like, Kim, I can't believe you would ever say that you don't want dressing on your salad. Like, that's so rude.
Yuri Lamasbella? Yuri Lamasbella.
No.
I think it's her.
Really?
No?
That does not sound like Yuri.
Yes, it's her. It's her. Yuri.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is her. Good job, Anya. YURILAMASBELLA. Yuri
incredible.
Lamasbella. She is incredible.
She's almost better than they are at doing themselves.
I agree. She is one of the best impressionists I've ever seen, especially for the Kardashians. Okay, so we gotta go. I got a full day ahead of me. I'm heading to my voice lesson. And I'm scared of being late because he is strict and like confronted me the other day and was like, we need to talk about something. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, before we get started, I need us to have a good line of communication. And I was thinking like, did I say something about him on the podcast that was like negative? Like, did he hear? And I'm like, oh no. And he's like, we need to have a talk. And I'm like, he goes, I need to know that you're going to show up to class. And I was 2 minutes late. And I go, it can't be that I was 2 minutes late. Like, this is not. And it wasn't that I just hadn't paid him yet. And I'm just used to like paying people on Venmo when they send a request. But he has this whole system through his computer. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm good for the money. Like I could pay you cash now. He goes, you don't have that much cash. And I was like, I think I might. Like I was so scared, but it was good because I really like he's like, this is like college. You got to show up for class. You're not going to make up quizzes. Like I'm not going to like make exceptions for you. So I'm in like a voice teacher boot camp and I got to go now because I'm going to be late and I don't want to be in
Just
trouble.
like college.
Just like college, except that I'm
be
going to take
bulimic.
it seriously. Yeah. And I can't blow him for an A. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you so much for listening to the show this week. We will be back next week with more, and come see us on tour this weekend. It's gonna be Albany, 2 shows Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, 2 shows in Portland, Maine. And we'll see you there and watch the Critics' Choice Awards on Sunday if it's airing somewhere because I'll be there. And thank you so much for listening to the show. I love you guys, and don't be and
Find Shelly Miss Cabbage.
Yes.